Join internationally acclaimed overland expert Paul Marsh and award-winning journalist Gregory Simpson as they delve into all things responsible overlanding. From choosing the right vehicle, getting yourself prepared, getting your vehicle prepared, safety tips, and much, much more. Only on Responsible Overlanding.
We've got this 76. This is fully packed. Okay, these guys have left all their kit in, and basically this is how it drove on their trip. So it's been up all the way through to Pakistan. It's come all the way back. It's ready to go on another trip. They're not in the country, but as you can see, here we've packed boxes we don't use too often. These are equipment you don't need to get to, clothing, drawers that you live out of, and then lightweight stuff on a shelf here. And then as you can see, they've utilized pockets on the sides here where you can actually make useful pockets. And here, sliding stuff in, pockets again. So the windows are no longer useful, but creating these pockets on the side here have given a lot of useful space. On the back door here, again, a lot of useful space. Things that you could use every now and then. And again, pockets are all made up here that you can utilize and put things in. So you can see quickly how it's really important to find everything's got its place that you use, and you eventually get your vehicle nicely set up. And that takes a bit of time, it takes a few trips.
Exactly. It's nice to see a fully packed vehicle as an example.
Yeah, and it's again, you can see these type of clothes bags, even a bit big, you can even go a bit smaller. You shouldn't need more than that. I mean, that's for all their warm stuff and everything.
Exactly.
I even aim to go a bit smaller.
Nice. And the tire holders here.
Well, this is the Gobi X. This is the Gobi X bumper, and again, it's proved its time. It's been all the way up through Africa. Here we've got shore power. So he's got shore power in here. He's got an external socket. He had a little cover that went over here. Here he's got a fridge. So he's got his fridge, again a platform, some boxes stored in there. So it's about using the space, and what we've done is divided the back from the middle and utilized the middle. So again, you're carrying all your kit in a place where you can access it and get to it, and that's important. Absolutely.
Fire extinguisher in close range.
So we do actually fit the fire extinguishers. We also fit fire strikers. And then as you can see, what we've got here, he's got a box to lock valuable computer equipment in, roof net, all the electrics up top here. Again, storage boxes with heavy equipment in. Useful access compressors here, high lift jack.
Hold down seat must come in handy as well.
And what we've got here, which I do like, and we don't always see this is a lifesaver. This is actually a water purifier, and what I really do like about it is very simple. This is the pump, you pressurize it, it's got a filter, and it comes out, it's got a pipe that clips onto here, and you can get purified water out of here. This pump up device, this is actually a pump up shower. It's an insecticide bottle for what we always use for the weeds, but we use this as a shower. So he'll basically take this, we've shortened it down, and he can use this as a shower, or he can rinse his hands. This uses a lot less water when it's misted out in a very fine spray, and you're carrying an extra few liters of water here. So when it comes to rinsing plates off, washing your hands, just cooling yourself down, washing the windows, it's a great night. This is my shower I take.
I've seen some elaborate showers, and this is nice and simple, and not much space used.
It's a bit of kit that you can use for a few things, and that's what I like. I rinse my hands, I wash my face, and if you stand there and have a shower with it, you can actually have a good shower. It's a fine mist. It's very good use of water. It saves water in a way. So I like it.
And after a hot day in the saddle, you just want to cool down sometimes.
Look, it doesn't take away. There are great showers, and people like the showers. The only thing with a shower, generally, that takes, if it's got a pump, it's going to be using a fair amount of water, and you really should have a dedicated water source for your shower. With this, you're dedicated. You've got that amount of water, so it works. And again, utilizing on the doors, you know, putting stuff.
And with our water crisis, you know, shouldn't your regular shower at home be more of a misty sort of...
Well, that would be ideal. You know, that's something to work on, because you see in some of the shopping centres, they've done that.
Yeah.
They've misted it.
Yeah.
And our showers at home, if you had a mist, you'd save a lot of water.
Exactly.
It's a new idea. So this vehicle is got a little fridge between the seats, nice to have. It's just convenient really. We often put a storage box here because we feel that you've got access to stuff you can lock away. It's got a two-way radio, dash covers, so it's nicely set up, it really is. The space at the back is really for him. He's got a unit here which he puts his clothing in, and then on the other side he's got another fridge that sits on that. So it's very flexible to have a base there, because what's been set up is that you can fit things and take them out. So it gives you a degree of flexibility, and quite often people look for that. Either it'll be the rear seat that gets bolted in and out, and then a frame goes in place of the rear seat, or it's a platform like this which stays in and allows you to swap around what goes on top of it. So again, it depends on what people need and how they're going to use their vehicles.
Gives you a lot of scope. And aftermarket drinks, cup holders, that's essential, isn't it, on any long distance trip? In terms of sound systems, do you improve that as well?
Oh, absolutely. You know, you can see here we've actually put this is an aftermarket pod here, which goes on with a speaker mold and pockets to put stuff. So there are some really nice products that are coming out onto the market for these vehicles. And much like any vehicle, you know, once it takes off and people start using it, people develop products. And that's so exciting because they add to the value of us using these trucks. Toyota don't make everything. And of course you get a raft of products. You've got to decide, do you need it? Is it right for you? Do you need it on your expedition? Or is it just a nice to have?
Do you ever see a time where these trucks are built for the overlanding industry and not just mining?
Look, I think mining in Australia is certainly where it's driven, in this country not. There is possibly an opportunity where a company would set up and go, we're going to build a spec of vehicle for overlanding and kit it out to that. But then it takes away the flexibility of you being able to have an input into your truck. And while everyone has a sort of different need, you know, it's not like we get in a car and we drive it to work every day and we all have a very similar need for that. When you're going traveling, people have a lot of different needs. Maybe with kids, maybe without kids, it's different parts of the world. So everyone's trying to cater, and it's actually a journey. And part of the journey and experience is part of the fun of building a truck up. And I often say, you know, don't discount the experience and the journey. It's not just about going on the trip. It's not just about buying the truck. The truck is a process, and that's part of your journey. Your education and training is another part of the journey. And it's really important that you take this whole section of preparing yourself before you get in the car to go on a trip as part of your trip, and enjoy it and embrace it and learn and grow, so that when you do go on your trip, you're really feeling confident. And if there's anything I want people to do when they're going on a trip, I want them to feel confident. I want them to go when that they've got their truck well tested, they've put all their equipment in, they know what they're using, they know what they're not using. Not going halfway up the road and going, I've got more kit than I need. And if they can get that right, with the confidence, knowing how to use their cameras, the sat phones, you know, whatever they're taking as far as safety and tools and checks, you go with a lot less concerns and worries. There's enough to take on board when you're traveling on an expedition that can go wrong, and that is different because you're taking yourself out of the environment that you're used to. We drive to work every day and it's almost like a program. Now you get in a truck and you drive up through Botswana and Namibia. We're not used to doing that. So the stresses, the pressures, the changes are different. It adds a level of stress. But you can reduce that if you know your truck, you know what to check for, and that confidence becomes, you know, it sits there and you've got less worries. Basically.
You must have some European clients that have never engaged low range in their life before.
Look, if it's interesting, because 80% of my vehicles I built for people in England had never driven a four-wheel drive. And that was really a privilege, because The challenge was to get them to the point that they could drive through Africa. So there's quite a challenge. You know, you've never driven a four-wheel drive and you're going to drive through Africa. We're not just going to go to Botswana, we're going to drive through Africa. So
how can you simulate those situations when you were working in the UK?
You can't. You can't simulate thick sand. You're just not going to do that. But you do a lot of work with people to get them to understand. And you know, videos give a lot. They don't give you everything because you can't get the feeling, and you need that feeling. But when you watch a video, you're going to get some good feel about, or good thought on, what could I do? Especially in recovery scenarios. You can't teach someone all the recovery scenarios. But when they've read some knowledge and they've actually understood how the equipment works, they can apply it. And you know, people on the road learn, and of course when you meet other people on the road you share knowledge, and that's the collaboration in our industry, and it's a positive outtake. You know, collaborate, share, that's what we're doing.